Hey there, welcome to Warren's Everyday English. My name is Warren. I'm going to go over some common and useful expressions from the Diary of a Wimpy Kid book series. I want to say that the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series is an excellent children's book that uses common everyday English expressions. The books use a speaking English format and not a written English format. Although the books are considered children's books, I want to stress the point that the language and speaking style written in the book is the common everyday language that adults use. I was in my early 20s when I first read the first book, and it surprised me how natural and common the language and expressions used in the book were. So, let's get started. First of all, let me get something straight. This is a journal, not a diary. So in this example from the book, the author wants to reinforce to the readers and wants to make sure that there is no confusion that what he's writing is a journal and not a diary. We see this expression, let me get something straight. There are a lot of variations to this expression. For example, let's get something straight, let's be clear on this, just to be clear. What does this mean? This is a common expression used when someone wants to make sure something is clear and that there is no misunderstanding. It's also used to emphasize a fact or point. For example, if someone misunderstood something and you want to make sure they understand what's going on. From a nuanced perspective, this is a stronger expression and used when you want to make a point. So let's go over some speaking examples. Let me get something straight. I never asked her out on a date. She's the one who asked me out on a date. Or, let me get something straight. If you don't get here by 7 p.m., there is absolutely no way that we'll be able to catch our flight.
Let me get something straight, but it can't be your nose.
Let me get something straight here.
In the next sample, this is what we read. But if she thinks I'm going to write down my feelings in here or whatever, she's crazy. So just don't expect me to be all Dear Diary this and Dear Diary that. In this paragraph, the author is stating that if his mom thinks that he's going to write down his feelings in this journal, she must be mistaken. So he wants his readers to know not to expect him to write about his real feelings in the journal. The Dear Diary starting line is a cliche and common way that people begin their sentences when they write in a diary. So the author is making a sort of joke with the Dear Diary line. This and that is a common expression used to talk about various unspecific things. Things that are uneventful or not noteworthy. Still confused? So am I. So let's go over some examples so that we have a better understanding. So, what did you do this weekend? Nothing much. Did the laundry, some grocery shopping, this and that. Another example is, so I heard you ran into your ex last weekend. What'd you guys talk about? Nothing important, just about our jobs, new hobbies we had, this and that.
Monday morning you go to school and you're all excited to share with your friends this and that.
Employment strategy and this and that.
The third example we come across this passage. The only reason I agreed to do this at all is because I figure later on when I'm rich and famous, I'll have better things to do than answer people's stupid questions all day long. So this book is going to come in handy. Here the author is stating that the only reason he's writing in this journal is because later on when he becomes rich and famous, he won't have to answer people's questions about his life because it will be all written down in this journal. So this journal book will become useful later in life when he's rich and famous. Here in this paragraph, we have multiple expressions being used. In the first sentence, we have two expressions being used together to form a sentence. These expressions are a little bit tougher, so let's review this paragraph in detail. The only reason is used when you want to emphasize that there is a specific main reason or motive. Let's look at the following example. The only reason I'm going to the dinner event is to see if Jane is there. This person is essentially saying that he really doesn't have much interest in going to the dinner event. He's only going to the dinner event because Jane may be there. The next expression used in the sentence is at all. This expression is very tricky and is used in a lot of different scenarios. This expression is used to make a question or statement even stronger and typically used at the end of a sentence. It essentially means even just a little bit, or in the slightest, or to any degree. For example, did John even say hi to you? Nope, nothing at all. So let's break this down a little, right? You can just say nope, nothing, but the reason why the person added at all at the end of the sentence was to emphasize that there was absolutely nothing that John said to him, even to the point where John barely even looked at him. Or another example, do you have any money on you at all? Right, so why did the person add at all to the end of the sentence? Because he's asking if the other person has any money on them, even if it's as small as 50 cents or $1.
The ingredients are the only reason that vaccines work at all.
The only reason we humans exist at all on this watery planet, or that trees, fish, bacteria, or any...
The last expression in this paragraph, come in handy, means that it'll be useful or practical. It is typically used when talking about a future scenario. A similar expression is, this will be useful. So let's go over some quick examples. I'll save this leftover chicken breast. This will come in handy later as bait when we go fishing. Or, this knife will come in handy one day when I decide to go hunting.
But they've actually come in handy in my life.
Moving on to the next sample from the book, the author writes, like I said, I'll be famous one day, but for now, I'm stuck in middle school with a bunch of morons. In this statement, the author is restating that he will be famous in the future. But for now, he has no choice but to attend middle school with kids that he feels are unintelligent. This expression we use a lot when we want to emphasize or sometimes use to sarcastically say you're trapped with something, someone, or you have no choice but to live with someone, something. For example, I'm so exhausted right now, but I'm stuck at work for another 6 hours. In this example, she's expressing that she is so tired and wishes to go home, but cannot because she still has to work another 6 hours. Or, I can't believe I cut my hair this short. I'm stuck with this stupid haircut until it grows out. Here, he is regretting cutting his hair so short and has no choice but to wait until it grows back to a normal length. Finally, I can't stand our teacher, Mr. Smith. I wish I had another math teacher, but I'm stuck with him for another 9 months. In this example, the student is stating that they do not like the teacher, Mr. Smith. They want another teacher instead of Mr. Smith, but they don't have the ability to choose another math teacher. So they will have to accept Mr. Smith as their math teacher for 9 more months until the school year is over.
I'm stuck here at MIT. I can't travel.
In the following passage from the book, it says, let me just say for the record that I think middle school is the dumbest idea ever invented. In this sentence, the author wants to mention again, and to make sure everyone is aware, that he thinks middle school is the dumbest idea ever created. This expression is very similar to the expression we learned previously. Let me get something straight. However, this expression is a little bit more lighthearted and used in a slight joking manner when you want to make sure everyone is aware. Sometimes you'll hear this expression used in a court and law setting. In those instances, this phrase is used in a more serious manner and used to let people know that what the person is saying is true or being recorded or known by everyone. However, when used in casual conversations, it's more in a lighthearted and joking way. Let's use this expression in a few examples. Man, I can't believe no one wants pizza. Everyone wants to eat chicken pot pie, which is gross. Hey John, for the record, I also wanted pizza. Or, for the record, I know some of you may be enjoying this movie, but I think it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. The special effects and CGI are terrible. In these two examples, the person wants others to know what he also wanted or how he feels.
For the record, my dad is a dentist.
For the record, I know someone tweeted out, where was the CIA in this?
So in this clip, the government official uses "for the record" to officially acknowledge and let people know that someone tweeted out something regarding the CIA. Like this scenario, you can use "for the record" in a serious situation. That's it for today. I hope this was useful and hope you enjoyed watching the video. In our future videos, we'll be covering expressions from news articles, TV shows, books, and so on. I'll see you all in the next video. Take care, folks.